I thought both teams absolutely played their tails off. And I think the offensive numbers are indicative of how hard both teams played on the defensive end. You can control a lot of things in this game, but you can't control sometimes whether you make shots. And especially from three, I thought we had some good looks that we didn't make. And I thought defensively, the guys did a great job on Murray and Spears and made them, take the shots that we wanted them to take rather than trying to get to their spots. Because when Spears gets to his spots and rises up in that mid-range, he's as good as anybody in the country at that shot.
Questions?
Greg, defensively, just how, to build off of that, how much do you think you can build off having this sort of a performance kind of moving into the back half of league play?
Well, defense travels. Mm-hmm. So defense can keep you in games when other parts of your game aren't as sharp, and you're not going to be at the top of your game every single game. It's just, you've seen it in college basketball, especially this year. So the fact that we were able to defend and rebounded gave us a chance to win this game when we, kind of had a atypical offensive performance for us. But certainly Georgetown had a lot to do with that.
Big picture for you. Obviously, it took a while to reintegrate everybody back into things with Ryan being out and what have you. What's that process been like for you guys? And do you feel like that you're better off maybe for having experienced it and kind of climbed out of it the way you have?
Yeah, it wasn't much fun when it was happening. I know that. But, Frederick King got some valuable experience. During that stretch, our guys continue to work. They continue to improve. Nobody pointed any fingers. We were married to the process of getting better and talked a lot about this season being a marathon, not a sprint. And we dug ourselves out of it. And, we're Kalkbrenner's back in shape now. It took him some time coming off that to get himself back to 100%. But he's very important to what we do on both ends of the floor. And, having him back and healthy has had a huge impact.
Kalkbrenner, number 11, and Kaluma have really improved their game since they've been under your tutelage. Talk about that effort. I mean, it must be systemic also that's helped them improve to that degree.
Yeah, I mean, they've worked really hard. And, I thought Arthur was really active on the glass tonight and made a couple nice plays around the basket. And, Ryan Kalkbrenner it's amazing how much he's improved from his, in a 2-year period of time. Someone that hardly could play 12 or 13 minutes as a freshman and now is out there a lot and putting a lot of pressure on the rim and protecting the rim on the other end of the floor. So they're very important to what we do, obviously. But the 3 guards were pretty good tonight as well.
You mentioned it just now, and you said it leading up to the game that Primo Spears does make some of the toughest shots, some of the toughest twos in the country. How difficult is it to get him into a difficult shot? Because it seems like that's all he sort of takes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did a good job of navigating the ball screen, so he didn't have kind of a head start into that pull-up, because once he pops his feet and rises, it's very difficult. And we decided to go length on him in Trey Alexander instead of quickness. We went quickness on Sule Boom in the last game and had some success. But I thought Trey was terrific. I thought he shot under some screens and met him on the other side a few times. And, especially the first half to set the tone. And, he doesn't have a field goal at halftime, I think speaks to the job that Trey Alexander was able to do.
18-3 run in the first half. You talked about forcing the difficult shots. How much did that help you that you are forcing them into difficult shots and almost their shots are leading as the first pass of your fast break?
Yeah, I mean, you want to try your goal defensively is try to make them take the shot you want them to take, and obviously offensively to try to get the shot that we want, not the ones that they're going to force us into. And I thought we did a good job of running their 3-point shooters off the line and making them mid-range players. Wahab had a couple great plays I thought he made in the first half, especially during that stretch where they got back in it. But our guys executed our plan pretty well and made life tough on their 2 best players.
One of the foundations of your program is number 11, rim running hard and then diving hard constantly. Talk about how does that pressure defenses? How does that challenge defense?
Well, we'll throw a lot of lobs to him, and I think coaches try to stop that flip up lob, and to do that, the big has to get back to him. And when they have to get back to him, that creates some opportunities at the rim and a lot of times wipes the shot blocker out. Now, Georgetown with a Cook obviously has a shot blocker coming from from the perimeter sometimes, and he's an elite shot blocker. And for the most part, we did a good job trying to get him off his feet and not let him impact the game with his block shots. But Kalkbrenner, he just provides gravity and towards that rim, and really forces the defense. He's tough to guard one-on-one down there. And then defensively, he's one of the best rim protectors I've ever coached. He understands, when to leave his feet, when to stay on his feet and wall up. And, he does a good job of wiping that that offensive rebounder out, making sure he doesn't get the ball.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Patrick, McDermott was just here and talked about how Primo can make such difficult shots, and they wanted to try and make him, get away from his spot. What did they do to sort of disrupt Primo today?
I'm not sure if they did a whole lot to get. Well, they try to take it with pull-ups. So, I think a lot of teams been doing that lately. But, I thought that we did a pretty good job defensively for the most part in the game. But then offensively, I thought is where we were very stagnant. There wasn't any ball movement, body movement. Everybody was trying to do it themselves. And in order for us to be successful, it can't be, I'm going to do it myself. It has to be ball movement, body. If I drive in and the defense collapse on me, we have to be willing to make that extra pass. I didn't think we did a very good job of recognizing that today.
And then what did you think about Jay and his return from injury?
For the first time, he practiced yesterday, played today. I thought he looked good. He got a little winded. I think it's gonna continue to get better for him.
When their number 11 rim runs as hard as he does and dives constantly on pick and roll, he's constantly moving towards the basket. How does that impact or challenge your defense?
Well, where they do a great job of running on makes and misses, and he does a great job of running and trying to seal our bigs, deep. So it was a lot harder when the Cook one was on him because he's that much bigger and stronger than the Cook. When Q was on him, I thought he did a better job of being more physical with him, trying to push him off. But when he runs and seals deep, it's he's 7'2". It's hard to contest those shots.
Both Heath and Murray and Primo, they struggled a little bit. How much was it based on on them and not what Creighton did? How much is it on him?
Well, when we have those guys and not scoring the way that they've been scoring for us, it's hard for us to win. But I thought we locked in defensively. We held them to 63 points. They're a team that scored 70-something points. So we did a good job defensively. But like I said, offensively is where we took a step back. We got to share the ball. They got to share the ball. Everybody has to share the ball. We need for them to score, and we need for them to score for us to be successful. But then everybody has to learn that they have to make the extra pass.
Patrick, after the way things ended in the first half, you guys came out and chipped away at that deficit. I think you guys held them to 5 of 16 with 5 turnovers to begin the second half. What was the key execution-wise coming out of the break?
Well, I thought we did a better job in the second half, especially in that stretch where we cut it to, I think, 4 of executing, getting good shots and making the right plays. And then once we cut it, we kind of reverted back to what we were doing in the first half. And then they were able to build their lead.
And their ability to get out in transition late in the first half. What did you see out there on the floor?
Well, Nembhard does a great job of pushing the pace. They get the ball in, he gets it up, and try to get them in offense. If he can't get something for himself, then he gets the ball to someone else.
I was going to ask a bit about that the tail end of the first half, last 6-7 minutes or so. What do you think, when you look back on it, most went sideways for you? Was it just the offense just getting stagnant, like you said, or was it more a little bit at the defensive end at that time? I think it was an 18-3 run.
It's a little bit everything, but I thought our offense led to the poor defense. Sometimes you do great things on the offensive end, it fuels your defense. I thought that today, we did a pretty good job defensively in spurts, but then our offense helped them to make the run that they did. Thank you.
Thank you.